This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Excited once again on a Monday morning to be back with our friend, our life coach at Cannon Coaching and Connecting. Yep, Leanne Cannon joining us live today again. As a business coach, life coach, she's helping you as a small business entrepreneur, sales professional, you name it. She's got a lot of experience and we're excited she's back with us today. How was your weekend?
Thank you, Jill. I'm so happy to be back. It's always fun to talk with you and had fabulous weekend. I had a lunch with a friend on Saturday, and we talked for 2.5 hours. We just couldn't stop. And then, sorry. And then I went shopping with my grandchildren yesterday, so it was all
Yeah,
good.
and happy Mother's Day. Yes, it was a great one for me as well. That's wonderful. Well, we're going to talk today more about the work you're doing with entrepreneurs. But before we get started, just give us a little overview as to the work you're doing in case someone's new to the show here today.
Okay, yes, absolutely. So I am a business and life coach, mindset mentor, and meditation facilitator. And I work with entrepreneurs, small business owners, and sales professionals to help them crystallize their vision, uncover obstacles to getting there, so we can then explore solutions and then map out a strategy. I'm also the founder of Divas with a Dream. It's a women empowerment group. So I do a lot of work with entrepreneurial women too for support and encouragement of professional women.
Wow. Well, we're excited you're back today and want to get started just by asking, you've been coaching entrepreneurs and small business owners for a long time. Can you maybe guide us through how you say coaching really has changed over the years?
I really can, because in the beginning, it was all business straight up. It was strategy. It was like time management, goal setting, just focus on those types of things. Um, and then over the years, it's morphed into just way more than that. That's where the mindset mentorship came in. I started realizing more and more that mindset is really everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's so foundational, and it boils down to it's a famous quote, but we don't think about it all the time. From Henry Ford. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, either way, you're right. That's mindset. And so I started realizing that, but beyond that, I learned that our thoughts actually create what happens next for us. We've heard our
Mm-hmm.
thoughts become things, or our thoughts create reality. Well, what does that even mean? Well, I didn't know. And then I dove in to learn. And then it became evident that most people really don't know that. I didn't know it. Most people don't know it. So I started helping clients realize the power of their own thoughts and feelings, and that their inner conversation that they're having all the time, we have it all the time. But if we're not paying attention, we can actually create our outer life experience by default instead of by design. So my aim became, as the way that shifted, helping people not only, you know, uh, get the numbers right, the bottom line projections and all that kind of stuff, but to actually learn how to pay attention and design their future on purpose.
Wow. And here we are. You've been doing so much with all these changes. Let me just ask, did a lot change also, like just with COVID in general, with the whole being home type of thing and jobs changing? Did it really change a lot then?
Yes. And now the mindset piece had already uh, shifted. That
Okay.
was probably starting in, let's say I started in 2002. I probably started the mindset focus with my
Got it.
clients, maybe like 2017, 2018, like that. But COVID did, like for everybody, change virtually everything. I was doing a lot of in-person things, locally here, especially like, well, both for with my Divas group and with the coaching and connecting. I did speed networking, a lot of in-person networking, would hold events all the time. Well, obviously that got nixed.
Yeah.
And so that's what pushed me, like everybody, to Zoom, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because that's what really expanded my reach, all over the place, like everybody else. But one more thing I'll just mention about that, though, and it's such a good question that you ask about COVID and mindset, because that just messed over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset just shifted big time, and largely to the negative. People felt cooped up. They weren't able to do what they wanted to do. They couldn't see family that they wanted. Some were losing family. I mean, it was just a really difficult time. And so mindset became just key around that. I can kind of explain what that even means if you want.
Well, yeah. And I want to know, why you think, helping people with their mindset is so important. But clearly it is. But go ahead.
Yeah,
We're
okay,
on a
no,
roll.
it all melds together, that
It
whole
does. It
thing.
does.
Why is that mindset so important? Because if you think about it, people wake up every day. The first thing, okay, what day is it? What day is it?
Monday?
What do I need to do today?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, that's all right. I've got a this, or I've got a that, or oh, I've got that conversation I need to have with my kids, or whatever it might be. The first thing that is on our mind is, what do we have to deal with? And I was like that years ago now, but that's the way I started my day too, like everybody else. Okay, what day is it? What do I have to do? What am I facing? And the thing is people are facing their problems right from the jump before they're even out of bed. How am I going to pay that bill? Whatever it is. And what they don't know, what I didn't realize years ago, was that actually set the tone for the day. It set my vibration. Mind you, I didn't know anything about that I had a vibration. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all in there now, okay? But I didn't know anything about that a long time ago. And so I know that a lot of people just don't know. And it feels just natural. Of course, I'm going to think about what I have to do next. But the thing is you also hear people say that they feel stuck. You hear that word a lot. And what they're not realizing is they're staying in the same position because of what they're thinking. Their own thinking, by thinking the same thing over and over again, is keeping them right where they are. And so it feels like a trap. The good news is, because our thoughts have kept us there in the same place, even though maybe we're working hard, doing stuff, activities, doing all the right things, but how come I'm not advancing?
Yeah.
Energy is the same. So you keep drawing to you the same situation. That's why it feels like, like a trap. But the good news is, the key to unlocking that trap and busting out is the same thing that's kept you there: your thoughts.
Okay.
So just by shifting your mindset, just by shifting the way you think, you can change your whole life. It's very powerful.
Wow. Well, and that's what you're helping people do and doing a great job at it. So I want some examples, if you don't mind, of this. And I know I'm excited. We're going to have a guest on soon with us as well. But
Yes.
explain a little bit about the transformation. Give us some examples of the people you've been helping.
I would love to. In fact, I have a few right here, just four real quick, that I'll share with you, what my clients have said. Let's see. One says, "You're always so great about checking in on my goals and movements within the company, as well as pushing me outside my comfort zone to help me see where things will get better." I'll just comment on that a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to do something.
Okay.
I just thought of this. I'm such a visual person, and I like to do visual things, as you found out last time. And this is just a spur of the moment kind of a thing, but because she mentioned comfort zone,
Yeah.
excuse me, my frog is with me, I guess.
That's okay. Got water. Take a sip.
I'm going to do this real quick. Okay. So this, can you see those two circles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so CZ,
Mm-hmm.
you probably figured out that means comfort
Yep.
zone.
Yep.
And it's comfortable. It doesn't mean it's what you want.
True.
It's familiar. It's
Mm-hmm.
just familiar. And so I'm not going to take the time to write near all that.
I
I'm
hear
just going to
you.
say what is in here in this circle right here.
The unknown, the scary stuff, the what
Yeah. Well,
the new, the
here's
better, the
something to that.
oh yeah, yeah.
Here's
I think that. Oh gosh, okay.
everything you want.
Want. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, in order to get from, I can't do this backwards, from here
Leap
to
from there to
there,
there.
that's why it's so important to bust out. But here's what happens. When you bust out of your comfort zone, which she said she was happy that I kind of like made her do,
Yeah,
helped
of
her to do,
course.
is so now you're here. Okay, you busted out and now you're here. Well, thing is, and it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. By definition, it's going to be uncomfortable. But the thing is if you keep doing that uncomfortable thing over and over and over again, that becomes your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Your comfort zone has grown, and so have you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now it's time to do it again, yes? And you have to do it again and again. But the thing is, that's how you get to what you want. And the same thing holds true. It's like every time you bust out of your comfort zone and you just keep doing it, then all of a sudden it becomes like breathing. It's like, oh, well, so, well, you haven't arrived. Let's do it again. Let's go. You
Yeah.
know, okay. So that's that. She
All right.
she started me down that path. Do I have a time for one more?
Of yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Okay. Um, well, maybe I'll do two then.
Go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So this one said, "You're always so great about." Oh no, wait a minute. Uh, you always have the talent of looking at something from 10,000 feet and on the field. Give me a different perspective of the challenges of opportunities that I'm facing. And then this girl that I always refer to, I refer to her each time, and she's the one that I want to have on next week, Brandy Hughes. I've mentioned her before.
Yep.
I call her everybody's best friend because she is a bookkeeper
Mm-hmm.
extraordinaire, and her phrase is that she helps people work on their business instead of in their business, and she does a great job at that. Cornerstone Organizational Part is the name of her company. Anyway, oh, I should give her phone number too while I'm at it, and then I'll
Go
tell you
ahead,
what she
sure.
said. Um, it is, and it doesn't matter where you are because technology, right? So
Of course,
bookkeeping
yeah.
take care of you. QuickBooks, whatever you need. 216-392-8345. That's Brandy Hughes, organizational Cornerstone Organizational Partners. But anyway, here's what she said to me. In fact, she just texted this to me the other day. She said, "You have taken my side hustle," in quotes, side hustle mindset, and pushed me into scaling and growth for the business. The sky is the limit. Now I'm writing a book and starting a nonprofit organization. You've helped me realize my leadership skills and break the glass so that I can use those. Okay. Well, obviously that made me feel fabulous.
Of course.
And so that's my aim, for everybody to realize their own potential, to believe in themselves, to realize that, like Brandy said, the sky is the limit. We limit ourselves,
Yep.
with our
Mm-hmm.
own mindset. And
Sure
without even
do.
realizing it, though, half the time. And we think that other people can do more. But, well, this is just me we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. But that's such backwards thinking, really. And so it's the idea of helping people appreciate that they can do whatever it is that they want. They can have whatever it is that they want. There is no limit to where they can go or what they want to do. They just need to have the right mindset and also recognize that there's more to this,
Mm-hmm.
working in our favor. Because, I talk about energy a lot
Of course.
because that's
Well,
part of it.
and
Yeah.
people, when is the time? Maybe they don't realize the word mindset, how it is. Like, how do you really kind of know what's going on? And maybe it's time to shift. What are some of the key signs that we experience or face where it's like, huh, maybe this is it? We need to shift.
Yeah. Okay. That's such a good question. How do you know? I'm so sorry about this.
Okay.
My frog, maybe I'll name him.
You're so
Anyway,
cute.
he's with me. Um, I think it's when people feel frustrated.
Hmm.
Um, when you wake up, with a feeling that we talked about before, or when you feel like I am moving like mad here. I'm doing this, that. How come I'm still where I'm at? Or maybe I just made
Yeah.
a little progress. Then something's up. That there's something holding you back. It's like static, if you will, to
Yeah.
a station that you're trying to get to, you know. Um, so Zig Ziglar used to call it stinking thinking. And so those are key signals that you're having
Hmm.
stinking thinking. Because if and I read in Jen Sincero's book, You Are a Badass at Making Money, I think she made a comment like, um, if you're not making the money that you want to make, then you're not thinking the way you should be thinking. It really
Hmm.
does. It comes down to that. It's crazy, but it's true. There's something else I could say right here. Two things come to mind. One is that our thoughts are like a boomerang. What we put out comes back to us.
Hmm.
And that's why it's so important to pay attention to what we're thinking. Now, I need to sidestep for just a second to say that it has been said over and over and over again from multiple sources all over the place
Wow.
that it's been estimated we all have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts per day. You've probably heard that. Maybe some of your viewers have heard that. Well, we're not going to track all that. When
Oh.
we say pay attention to your thinking,
Uh-huh.
what do you mean? If I have 60,000 thoughts today, how am I tracking that? Well, we don't have to track that. Here's the key is our feelings. How are we feeling? What are we feeling? Because that's really where the biggest energy emanates from our heart. We make a heart brain connection. Maybe we'll talk about that sometime. How can we actually do that literally? And we're talking biologically, physiologically, scientifically, not woo woo, nothing. I don't do woo woo. Okay. Just so anybody knows, that's not what we're talking about. But the thing is when we emanate a particular thought and energy flow, it boomerangs right back to us. That's why what you think about, you bring about. We've heard this.
Yeah, it's
What
so
you
true.
think about, you bring about is true. Problem is, sometimes people get really excited and I'm going to do this thing. I went to a convention, 3 days. I spent with all these high vibe people. I'm on it, you know. And so that's great. They just threw out that boomerang. The problem is, and it's going to come back to them.
Yeah.
But if they're not in the same place, it'll go right past them. And that's what happens. People will be in a high vibe for a minute and drop right back down. Meanwhile, they might have missed that particular opportunity because whatever you put out is coming back to you. But are you in the same place to receive it?
Mm.
Receiving is a whole nother topic we can maybe talk about sometime.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. And I
Yeah,
know
because
for
that's a
today. Oh, go ahead.
huh?
That's a whole. Okay, go ahead.
No, you said what?
No, I was going to mention the next we still have more time for today about magnetic mindset and how but don't worry, we can talk about that in a second. Continue. I don't want to interrupt
Oh,
and jump the gun.
oh no, no, no. Actually that was kind of what I was thinking right there. Um,
Okay, good. I
yeah,
thought that
about
I don't want to jump too far.
no, 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 no. And when we talk about receiving, maybe
Hmm.
I will save that for another day because that's in by itself kind of a conversation. But that's why when we pay attention to our feelings, we can tell if we're in a high vibe or a low vibe. Okay, high vibration, low vibration. Mind you, Jill, there
Yeah.
was no way under the sun. I'm talking vibration back in the day.
Right.
What do you even mean by that? Okay,
Exactly.
so I get it that if some people don't even know what I'm talking about, that's okay because I didn't either. But the idea is that everything is energy. We are energy. Everything is vibrating. Everything you're looking at around you in the room is vibrating energy at a particular frequency. We're not
Hmm.
all on the same vibe, so to speak. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know when you're vibing with somebody, we even talk like that sometimes, right? Um, so if you're in a low vibration, the thing is with energy, the way it's different than magnetism, even though it's the same, it's attraction. Energy attracts energy like itself, not opposites attract like
Okay.
magnet. So that's why if you're feeling down here
See that?
and what you oh
We have a
sweetness,
special guest. Hi, this is
oh,
this is
sweetie,
Jackpot. She's half blind. She never comes
jackpot.
in here, but she'll go excited. Thank you for
What a
welcoming
great
her.
name for your cat.
I know the shelter named her that, but I'm so sorry. But oh, I hope you don't mind. Maybe she felt magnetic energy to come
There
on
you
down.
go.
She's
Hey, there's
never
something
done
to
that.
that.
She's
We
never
can talk
done that.
about that later too.
Another cat has. All right, go ahead.
So, but anyway, so raising your vibration, how do you do that?
Yeah.
I used to get so frustrated when I would hear this. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. I have limiting beliefs. I know I do. I even know what some of them are. Okay. But how can I shift it? What do I do?
Yeah.
To shift it. And that's really where I love to help people, but not to leave anybody in the lurch. There's some things you can do, like right now. One is remember when in the beginning we said people wake up feeling frustrated, like, oh, that's right. I
Hmm.
need to have that conversation, go to work, da
Yep.
da da. So that starts you down here.
Hmm.
So that's the tone for the whole day. Okay, so what do I do about that? Well, forget about what day it is. You woke up today. Whatever the day is, be grateful. I'm breathing. Not everybody is. And not everybody woke up today who thought they were going to. You did. So always just wake up grateful. That's the first thing. That sets you in two things: higher vibration instantly, and in receiving mode. Like I said, we'll talk about receiving later. But gratitude is a great place to start the day because then you can kind of go down that path a little bit. You don't have to sit there for 20 minutes, just a few seconds. Take a deep breath. Deep breathing gets your body in a parasympathetic state. That is a stress reliever right there. Reduces cortisol, reduces adrenaline. And so you don't wake up anxious. Some people wake up anxious. Why? Because of what they're thinking. That's why. The only reason why they're feeling anxious is because of the thoughts they're thinking. So shift that intentionally. And at first it'll feel funny, but just do it. Pretty soon, it's the only way you wake up. I'm so glad I woke up today. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my comfortable pillow. Thank you for my bed. Thank you for my home. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all those things. Start there, deep breath. Sets the tone for the day. Now, the next step, and I won't dive in, maybe another time. I don't know how many uh, times I'll be able to talk about this, but meditation is something I used to be terrified of. I didn't want to meditate, even just the word. I'm like, keep it away from me. But really, if you just be calm, if you just be quiet, then you allow yourself, and with deep breathing, nothing crazy, just allow yourself a few minutes of quietness, and we'll call it meditation, can help you to shift from this energy. We talk about how do I get out of here to this energy. And what I'll mention, Jill, real quick, is if anybody is interested in getting something free from me today, we're talking about a daily routine. I can send them kind of like a step-by-step process of starting in a better place and then living in a better place. And I'll just send it to them if they get a hold of me. I can email it to them.
Go for it.
Okay. So the way you get a hold of me is several ways, of course. Calling me or texting me at 330-400. 9814. And if you text me or call me, I'll make sure you get this. Or you can email me at canoncoaching.connecting@yahoo.com, and I'll shoot it off to you that way as well. I suppose, and then of course my website is canoncoachingandconnecting.com.
Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here as always, Leanne, and looking forward to having that guest on next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. See you. Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.